Matt, you had a pretty balanced game tonight, not only getting rebounds, but also assists and blocks. Can you just talk about that and maybe how your size played into that tonight?
Yeah, it definitely was one where I was able to sort of spread out the stats and have a lot of guys help me out. A lot of credit to the team. They knocked down a ton of huge shots when I kicked the ball out. And then a great job of team rebounding. I never felt like I was pressured by a bunch of guys. It was, me versus my guy, go get the board. They put me in a lot of good positions. But yeah, overall, it was a great game. It was a game that could be, a trap game for us where guys could fall asleep. And, they are a very good team. Nothing to take away from them. They did a great job in the first half of battling, and even in the second half. I was glad our guys were able to battle through it.
Did you expect for them to drive as much as they did? I mean, they were driving straight into you, and obviously you had the size advantage there.
No, it was one of the things where they did a great job of, sort of attacking our game plan. We started off hedging hard ball screens, and then we tried to own it. And when we tried to own it, so not jump out too hard, they, drove downhill. And they did a great job, sort of countering us. But, we were able to stick with it and, get the little things to work together and hammer it out.
Did you guys go in thinking you'd be able to push the pace the way you did and run the floor so much?
That's part of our game plan always. We always want to attack, and that's something we were going to try to do regardless. But, you take what they give you, and maybe we were surprised a little bit how much we got to run, but, that's always part of our game plan.
James, we've talked a lot about how you've been attacking the glass, but maybe kind of the pivotal or maybe a good moment for you is after Brandon missed his free throw, you went up and got the rebound and got fouled and then went to the free throw line. Can you just talk about that maybe being kind of a microcosm of what you hope to do on the glass this season?
Yeah, those are big plays for us, Whenever you can get rebounds off of missed free throws and be able to get fouled again, knock 2 free throws in, that just does nothing but add momentum to what we want to do in the game. And if we continue to have big plays like that within myself and my teammates, I think we'll have a very successful year.
Hey, James, how much you think you've progressed in these first 5 games? In what ways?
Oh, I feel like I've gotten better each game. Just knowing how to go to the rebounds, just learning how not to foul. I believe I only had 1 foul tonight. I think previous games, I've had like 4 and 3, maybe 2. So not fouling basically is the biggest key. And I just want to give credit to my teammates, Matt, Stainbrook, and Isaiah Fillmore, just in practice this whole week, just working with me, showing me how to move my feet around in the paint and how to stay down and not be able to foul guys in the post. And it came out to show tonight.
Matt, one of Coach's message last game was to really work on transition defense, and that was the first thing they did in the game was get a steal and then score. How would you assess your guys' defense overall in the first half?
It's something that's coming along, and like Coach said, they have a really good program. They have a system to what they do. It's not just chaos, and over the next couple of years, they'll be a very good team, and they were a very good team. But transition-wise, we had a spirited week of practice, and we're working on that, and we know it's one of our issues. But overall, it's something that it's a hard offense to guard when they have 2 bigs high, and especially with a guy number 12, Cook, who can shoot like that. It makes it really difficult in transition to match up because you always got to know where he's at. But overall, it's something that we're working on, and I believe that we'll be able to contain and get under control.
Hey, James, how much are you guys looking forward to this trip now, and how much you think it'll give you a better read on where you are as a team?
Oh, we're very excited. We saw that Iowa was ranked number 23 today, so we're very excited about that because each win like that or each time you get to play teams like that, it gets us a step closer to getting on to the NCAA tournament. And we're very excited for that game, where we realize we're going to take them 1 game at a time. With a night like tonight, we feel very confident about going down there and playing those guys.
James, does it mean anything to you that you guys are receiving votes in that poll?
Yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, we have to act like we're at the bottom of the map trying to make our way up. That's the only way we're going to keep ourselves humble. We're going to keep ourselves going hard every day. And once we get there, we'll know we're good enough, but at the same time, we're just going to take it 1 day at a time and keep going hard.
It definitely keeps us humble, and I think one thing that I've enjoyed about this team is that out of any guys I've played with, we really see this trip as like a business trip. We're going to have fun and enjoy, being in the Bahamas. But, right now I feel like every guy in the locker room's mind is on playing Iowa. And we're not looking up, hey, we have to go enjoy the weather or go to the beach. It's, hey, we're playing Iowa, and we can't wait to get on the plane, get there and play them.
This might be a better question for when we're there, but I mean, you guys have tonight's game, and nobody else from that tournament has a game tonight or tomorrow night, and then you play 3 games in a row like everybody else. Does fatigue or anything concern you at all, just knowing that you have, a very short span with 4 games in it?
You can think about it with that playing a lot of games. But we look at it from the other side. We're staying sharp. It hasn't been like a long break for us, or we haven't, been a dull moment. But, I think we're all going to be ready to play, especially with younger guys, a lot of younger guys. We'll be able to stay healthy and do that.
And what did you think of your brother's steal tonight?
Thought it was great, as always. But I'd play the game, I thought.
Play the game?
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry for the delay. Before the game, just watching Abilene on film, we had a concern that offensively they're a very difficult team to guard. They spread you out. They always have at least 3 guys on the floor that can shoot it. Their ball screen continuity and is a difficult thing to deal with. And so I thought as the game progressed, we got better and better. They're the first team that we've played that ran the continuous ball screen type motion that I think Butler started years ago, and so many teams around the country have adopted. But again, they're an undersized team. They shoot the ball from 3 or 4 positions at a time, and I was really proud of the fact that even though maybe Xavier fans were uneasy in the first half a little bit, it wasn't because our kids were sleepwalking. We were playing hard. You got to give them credit. You got to tip your cap and say, hey, they're playing well offensively, but we continued to get tighter off the ball as the game progressed. And because of that, and the rebounding margin was what it was, along with the fact that we've been an unselfish team pretty much all year, including tonight, was the reason we won the game.
Did you expect them to continue to really go relentlessly to the basket, even when they were going up against Matt Stainbrook and some of the other guys with length that they didn't have?
Well, they have to. They don't necessarily have a post game right now that maybe is at the level that it needs to be for Division I. They're undersized. The big guys that they have in there are serviceable, but they're not guys that necessarily threaten you in the post. So they have to try to manufacture ways to get the ball to the rim. They can't just play on the perimeter. And so, coupled with the new rules and the mentality of trying to spread you out and drive you, when you give up a couple threes, your tendency as a team is to get closer to your man, and you become a team that gets spread out. And that really hurts our defense when we do that. But fortunately, we kept enough discipline that as the game wore on, we stayed tighter, and that's always been our story around here.
You guys got a lot of nice inside-out passes from Matt and the guys on the front line. Can you just talk about that part of your game and how you emphasize it?
Well, we've been a team that shared the ball over the last 4 or 5 games, and we've also been a team that has had probably a little bit high on the turnover end. But tonight, you go 18 assists, 8 turnovers. Matt's a phenomenal passer. I've said it before, and it bears repeating. He may be our best passer on the team. He's hard to double. He's a guy that when you put him in the middle of the zone, he's got great peripheral vision. He has, just a great feel. And so we try to put the ball in his hands a lot, not just on the low post. I'm not quite sure about the 3-on-1 break that he's leading, but, sometimes you got to give a big guy a cookie every once in a while.
You obviously pulled away a great deal in the second half, but do you feel like that they seemed at all fatigued out there? I know they've had a lot of games since Friday.
I'm sure. They played 2 games over the weekend, and then their travel to Cincinnati was a complete nightmare. I think their original flight got canceled. They had to fly to Chicago with just 5 players and the head coach. The rest of them, caught up the next day. And so it's for them, it was planes, trains, and automobiles and to get here. And I felt about this sorry for them, so I've been on that end of it.
How is Eric Stenger feeling, and will he be, you think, available to play?
I don't know. He's, he just hasn't been himself. I think everybody that knows Eric always sees a guy that, plays a lot of energy, and he's really coming to practice the last 3 or 4 days, really lethargic. And I finally said, because, Eric's not going to pull himself, I just said to him, you don't look right. I'm going to sit you out today. And that was yesterday. And so, to be very honest, they're just doing some testing, blood work, make sure he's where he needs to be. I don't know if he's going to make the trip, though, tomorrow.
As you head to this tournament, you guys have Iowa number 23 to start off with. You know, what kind of, to use Joe's word, read do you hope to get on the team going to this tournament?
What word was that?
Read.
I would say that Iowa's, the 23rd ranked team in the country for a reason. They have everybody back, including their substitutes, guys that come off the bench. We played them several years ago in the Virgin Islands, and it's amazing that you still have some of the same names on the roster. They're now seniors instead of freshmen and sophomores. So they're a very experienced team. They're a Big Ten tough team. They rebound the ball. Fran changes defenses on you. It's going to be a big challenge. And, one of our guys, and I'm sure their guys are going to be excited to play. It's a great event. We're not the only two teams in the tournament. It's a loaded field. But it's a huge challenge on Thursday. And, we're going to have to be ready to go.
When you guys were doing your scheduling, did you guys pick this day to have Abilene Christian play? It just happened this way?
No, the organizers of the Battle for Atlantis picked a fourth game. That's why Iowa also played Abilene. And it's why, every team in the field, you take two teams in the field, they would play, a guarantee game against the same team. And then those four teams go off the towels. And so that was completely, run by the organizers, the date as well.
How do you feel about the playing a game Monday and then going to play 3 more this week?
I feel great. We won.